Now this next one is right up your wheelhouse here, because you were talking about this for a half hour last week at the shop, and so this one we have One Piece, the manga, and now you have a manga here.
Yep.
On, I guess that is part of this.
It is. So this is a preview for the actual manga that is out. This is Ace's story. If you are a One Piece fan of any sort whatsoever. You know the backstory, you know he's not around anymore. But what I liked about this is it gives you all of the things that you never got to see about Ace. How he got his fruit, some of his adventures before he meets up with Luffy in the series, even before he was a Whitebeard pirate and things. So just... like I said, if you're a One Piece fan, this is absolutely for you. The art,
look at that.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the art is great. The story is great for what you get.
Right.
And then same thing. Like I said, then you want to come back and you want to take your time to read the full
detail on that.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
Even without color, it's
beautiful.
So
yeah,
you can tell that he's absolutely on fire,
right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And things, the detail and the time and energy that they put into the book, it makes my heart happy.
Very cool.
Makes my heart happy.
All right, so now we are on our very last stack, and this is what you want to say, the big boys of the bunch, right?
Yep.
So
this is what you guys have been waiting for.
Right.
We've made you wait through the rest of this while we tell you about the other books that are coming out, but this is probably the stuff that everybody's really, really wanting to know about. Absolutely, I think this is a great place to start. It runs into the big boy books. But it's also a YA book in its own right about Barda. If that doesn't ring a bell, Big Barda definitely should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, YA backstory for her. You can't beat them fleshing out more of these characters that have kind of started to take a forefront more in your DC stuff. But once again, a great female character that hasn't had her story really fleshed out, and they're starting with her at a younger age.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Marvel voices. If you've ever picked one of these up before, you know that there is always 2 to 3 stories inside. Same kind of thought process. We're going to start off with Spider-Man here, India.
Yeah.
Yep. And it kind of, it's more like he's on a Bollywood set, which I thought was kind of fun. But same thing. Doesn't matter where you're at, guys. When bad guys show up, you have to be the hero that you are meant to be.
That's very cool. Yeah.
And then, you go through, you got a Spider-Gwen story in there, too.
That's good. That's
absolute Bollywood, situation. But you have a Spider-Gwen story in there. And then you have a Spider-Man and is it Tony? Oh, I can't remember now.
I can't tell. He's still wearing that old suit.
Yeah, he is. So it's just a bunch of little small stories that are giving you things that are either upcoming or out already that you're going to see in other Marvel voices.
Bro, I see Gambit and I can't help but think about that episode. I swear, man.
Everybody with the X-Men 97 right now.
Oh, God. All right.
Everybody with the X-Men 97.
Now let's go to the Spider-Man Ultimate Universe comic book.
Okay, same thing, guys. You are looking at a new preview for an ongoing Spider-Man title that's just going to be called Spider-Man. And my personal, and I don't mean to look down on Spidey at all, but with Hickman and this new Ultimate Universe and the Ultimates book preview that is in this, I am so excited. I know myself and my other counterpart, we're talking about the guys that are writing the Ultimates book and not really kind of knowing, or they haven't been around and done quite as much as others have.
Oh, Stegman does the artwork in this book.
Stegman is doing the artwork for that Spider-Man book. I know I kind of jumped ahead. Sorry, guys. But the cool thing with the Ultimates portion of this, it's almost like a treasure hunting team.
Mm-hmm.
And the oddity of these characters that are all coming around, plus it kind of also has that maestro feel.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like a trophy room, if you will, that we know that the maker has multiples of. Plus, some of the characters that we know, but in a different manner, are going to be showing up in this also. And then, last but not least, in the very back of this is a couple-page spread preview for the new Venom War.
Oh, dude.
That's going to be coming out this summer. So
that is fucking cool, dude.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Artwork for Venom War. If you've read any of the Venom and seen it, artwork is absolutely phenomenal. It's another one. I wish we could show some interiors.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's beautiful.
So good. This Ultimate Universe is good. I'm a huge fan of like Ultimate Spider-Man, but this other Spider-Man book that's coming out.
Yeah.
Like, so is it still
I
connected? You think, or is it just a separate book?
I think it's just its own separate
thing
book
for fun.
Kind of like what we're doing right now with Spectacular Spider-Man. Right. I don't know if it's ongoing. This could be like a 10 to 12 issue run type of thing. But it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Let's be honest with ourselves. I mean, you're Spider Slayer for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, there's
I'm very critical of my Spider-Man books.
Don't get me wrong. We won't go into them because there isn't just a Spider-Man book right now. So
book is right around the corner in general here.
Actually comes out the Wednesday before Free Comic Book Day, and it's Blood Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be Marvel's big spring going into early summer event. I know we've talked about it. Events. But this one has definitely been some time coming, because this goes clear back to I would say the onset of that Avengers with Blade when he first started back up, because we're dealing with vampires in this for sure. Yeah. And that is where we've seen a lot of those guys get exiled over into Russia and so on. So this should be a very interesting tale, especially considering they decided to do what they're calling a red band book on this.
Yes, the explicit book, which I'm getting.
I think quite a few people are getting, for that matter.
I want to see the comparison between the two.
Yeah, honestly, I think the thing for me that kind of blew it out of the water for me from one to the next was they're saying that there's extra pages.
Yeah, there's
eight more in the explicit content situation. So it's like, wow, I mean, that's quite a bit of extra to be giving type of situation. And then same thing, Your Back has some previews for a couple of the X titles that are coming after Fall of X-Men.
Got Jubilee in there.
Got some Jubilee in there. But that final page with the giant vault door, I'm interested. Who's in there?
Yeah, like, I don't know,
who do you put behind a door that's that big? Yeah, you know,
I couldn't even begin to think.
No, and I mean, we'll think about this for as far out. I mean, we only have a couple issues of that whole Fall of X-Men situation left, but we really don't know what's going to happen still.
I know.
So
I'm looking forward to this, man. I'm looking forward to the fresh new jumping on start. I feel like, personally, my opinion, the Fall of X has gone on like a very long time, and there's a lot of stuff connected to it.
Yeah, I won't disagree with that.
You know,
but they definitely had a lot to bring to an end, I guess, as well.
Right. All right. So and here we got the two,
the big boys,
the big ones here. So we have the this is like the only DC book that's out.
Really? Yeah. Honestly, they didn't want to spend or share time, I guess, this year.
No.
This is definitely going to be their event. Absolute Power. If you have been reading Green Arrow or kind of been around the DC universe right now, if you're reading Action Comics or Superman, you know that the Brainiacs portions of this whole thing have started. One, the art in this book is phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks good.
But the thing that got me is in this preview, we see a character from one of my favorite Batman animated series episodes.
Really?
The Clock King. And I know that's a big shocker for a lot of people where they're like, really? That guy of all people?
What is going on here? I am very curious.
Yes. So we see this is very much an Amanda Waller story. Of course. Eccentric, if you will. Same thing. You know, she does not trust heroes. And we can't always blame her for that aspect, because every great hero falters every now and again. Yeah. We've seen it.
And she's made that perfectly clear in this Beast World thing and the ramifications after that.
Yes.
So how that kind of all leads into all of this.
Yes. We have been seeing this kind of coming to a fruition at this point for a while. And she looks like she is at the point where she's getting ready to make a real big power move in this.
Gotcha.
With absolute power.
Yeah. And the cool thing is once again, it does a nice job at introducing you to characters like Amanda Waller, Failsafe. So if you think that Failsafe is going anywhere, that's not happening.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. I know some people love him to hate him.
And then there's the House of Brainiac, which is currently going on in Superman. So you're going to see a lot of that as well in here. So I think that's cool, and you kind of get to see some cool little,
these are actually interior pages of that first
issue. Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Look at that right there.
Yeah, they ended on a real big splash page. Like I said, guys, if you're a DC fan, if you care about events at all, it's a really, really big book. It's kind of I don't want to say the must-have, because in my personal opinion, the must-have is the one that we're going to finish with.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so
this is the book that I've had so many people ask me, how do you think this works? Or why is this happening?
Right.
What do you think is going on with this? This is the guy.
Energon Universe right here. And I think this cover is done by Ryan Otley.
Yep.
So if you're a Invincible fan and you love Ryan Otley's artwork just in general, from Amazing Spider-Man, the Hulk, you're going to want to get this book just for the cover alone.
Exactly. And then, like I said, you go through, and some of these questions that you've been having while you're reading your Transformers, or you've been reading Void Century, or
Void Rivals.
Void Rivals. Yeah. Thank you. Oh my God, I almost said Century. You're gonna get some small questions answered, things that are, that's how that worked, or wow, that branches into so much more now. What do they really plan on doing? And I can't wait to see some of Mike's facial expressions as he goes through this whole situation.
Oh my God, what the hell?
Oh yeah. So I will tell you, this does go back in time. I was going to say, this looks like this goes
back beforehand, right?
This is actually, so the main Transformers portion of it, I will say, happens before issue 1 starts.
That's a key moment right there.
Yeah, big key moment for a lot of folks.
Yeah. Does Ryan Otley do the artwork in this book?
I think in this particular one here, he must have, because that is definitely him.
Yeah, I was going to say,
there's no getting around
I
that
can
one.
Definitely see that. I think he does a pretty good job here. Yeah, that's definitely him. When you see facial expressions, yeah.
You see some of the characters and things, you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, man, you get to see, Megatron in here. Dude, that's so... What the heck is that?
Oh, and
that's... what's his face from...
Then we get things that we haven't seen in the main Transformers yet either.
Oh, man. This is freaking... Oh, this guy here. Look at that, man. That is sick. You just get to see the deterioration of the character here.
Yep, and then we get into...
No, come on, man.
I know. That's no spoilers, guys.
No way.
Yeah. And then in the very, very back, we see a Duke... I don't know if I want to use the word roundup, if you will, but it's definitely, having read this week's Duke as well, gives you another little preview for what's to come with the G.I. Joe stuff.
Very cool.
Because the way it ends, we know that we've been getting a Transformers, and then we've been getting a hero and a villain for our G.I. Joe universe, and that pretty much tells us we're going to get another new G.I. Joe title.
Right. Let me tell you, man, best freaking universe to come to comics in
forever, in a long time.
Yeah.
In a long time.
It's special when something like this arrives.
Yeah.
I am not going to lie. I've said it ever since Void Rivals came out, and we saw that first image of Jetfire, and you're just like, wait a second. Is the Transformers literally in this series?
Yeah.
And it just like grew from there, and it's not junk. It's just it's so good the way they do it.
And that's
so well
don't
done.
Get me wrong, some of my old school guys, they're a little angry at, you know, some of the G.I. Joe stuff and whatnot. But here's the thing, guys. Once again, the beauty of comics, we're already suspending disbelief, right?
Yeah.
You know, because giant robots.
Yeah, right? Come on, man.
But, you know, the other little smallest bit of that thought process, and then, you know, here we are just getting phenomenal stories that have excited me like no other. You know, coming back in and getting back in, this has absolutely been that thing that just skyrocketed for me.
Yep, it's my benchmark for comics right now.
Yeah.
If it doesn't equal to the excitement of that, it doesn't get the highest grade for me.
Well, I'll tell you, just, you know, back in the day, this was, you know, every week breaking down books when the week Walking Dead came out. Didn't matter where I was at in the grand scheme of things, unpacking, boom, that book dropped out of a box, I stopped and read it.
Yeah.
Same thing with this universe. Every single time there's an issue of any of them, it's a stop, read, wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, you know, you move on throughout the rest of your day and keep going, but it's that book that on the weeks that it comes out, you're just like, oh man, and it just your brain is racing after
such
every
a page
issue.
turner, man. It's great.
So,
well, that's it. I mean, we did it all. We went through all the books, and so I want to thank Sam, Tyson, Jay, everybody here at Comic Central for inviting me for a third straight year. This is an annual event now.
Do you want to thank Mike for coming out and doing this again with us? I mean, you can't beat the hype. I mean, it's one of the best days, you know. How do I want to put this? It's the best worst day.
Yeah, I can understand it from your perspective.
From my perspective, because you know it's a long day. But like I said, seeing everybody that you haven't seen coming out, seeing the looks on these little kids' faces when they're picking up books, guys that haven't been in comics for a decade, and they're picking up books and they're seeing it and that fresh expression, and then the ask of, do you have more of this? What is this? Is this something that's coming out? Or is it something that's already out? It's that day that makes you realize this is why we do it.
Absolutely.
This is why we do it.
Absolutely. So yes, guys, make sure if you're in the Central Florida area, make Comic Central a stop for you. Check out their awesome sales. Like I said, buy one of those mystery boxes. Check out the deals that they have on their hardcovers, trades, and check out their back issues too. So. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I have more content in between Sam and myself that you can click on after this long video that you just watched. But hey, man, it was important, right? Yep. So, as always, guys, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting. But remember, read your comics so you can always have that awesome comic book conversation. Guys, I'll see you real soon. Take care.
Thanks so much.